Hello, this is Carrie Margaret from Love Notes, bringing lots of, well, we're co-creating this, but this community, we like to bring lots of love and goodness and, habits for positive emotions and, getting into good feedback loops where life is just kind of an upward spiral in our relationships and we feel blessed and lucky and, relationships feel so good while we're authentically expressed, yeah? So today we are going to talk about a simple secret that men value respect over love. What? Okay. There's a problem with broad statements like this, but let's just put that to the side for a second, okay? Because talking in general terms is generally a little bit dangerous, but there is something super valuable for you right here, okay? Like the first time that I heard that, like, I don't know where I heard it from. I don't know, like the first time I ran across this material, and it was Allison Armstrong, who does beautiful work in studying men in particular and relationships between men and women, or it might have been somewhere else, but this whole idea of like men valuing like respect over love, like who would value anything over love? Of course, love is my number one value, right? So I just thought that was pretty wacky. And then I started to look around in life and to look at like the evidence around that. Now, I'm not saying that men don't value love. I am just saying that respect is a very high value for men. And it tends to be a place where communication and relationship breakdown happens between men and women because women tend to value love over respect. Okay, so it's like men are tending to value respect over love, women are tending to value love over respect, and that is just a place where we can bump heads, right? So how does this play out? Men want to feel respected, especially by their woman, and they or their girlfriend, their wife, their whatever, their person, right? I'm sure that it's the same in relationships between men. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But they want to feel like women respect them. They trust them. They trust their judgment. One of the things that is like the most painful for a man, it actually can feel physically painful, which I found shocking. Like shocking, is, disapproval. Like when they feel like a woman isn't respecting them and is actively disapproving, it brings up like this mother thing with so many men. It's really funny because other day I was calling my 10-year-old down to talk to me, and I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And he like comes walking down the stairs and he's like, okay, Mom, like, what's up? And I was like, oh, I want to talk to you about like what book you want to get on your Kindle. And he was like, the way you said it, it made it sound so serious. I could like feel that like he was coming down, like thinking that I was about to like chastise him for something, like leaving his socks on the floor, whatever, like this disapproval. And, as mothers, not even like wanting to, we can get into that space if we're like running a household and wanting kids to cooperate. And so it's like this thing that happens like in boys. They don't want to experience, it just brings up that whole mother thing, right? How does this play out with men, between men and women? The number one, and this being a simple tip thing that I could like pass on, that for me like blew my mind the first time I really, really got this, was, allowing for like good intention and kind of warm reception. And like, even when there are things like, let's say boundaries crossed or something like isn't feeling quite settled in a space, like being able to communicate that from more of a warm place, and from a space of good intention. So this isn't, this is simple, not necessarily easy, but let me give you an example of what sounds like it's coming from a space of like where the other person has bad intentions. So, I may have done this a few times in my past. Like women, in general, culturally, it can drive a woman. Again, I'm getting into generalities, so whatever, crucify me or do whatever you want. It's problematic to speak in general terms. I understand that, but there are things that are patterns between the sexes, okay? So culturally, you'll find a lot of like women, it drives them crazy if a man is in integrity. So like his word is not in alignment with his actions. Like that can cause women to feel like really unsafe and like uncertain about a man, and like it really drives them crazy. That's why, like with women, if a man says that he's going to do something, I mean, there's the most common thing that everybody brings up. It's so cliche. It's like, the man said that he was going to take out the trash. I don't know what everybody uses as this example. Like, I don't think I've ever been maybe in my marriage, my husband took out the trash. I feel like I did as much as he did. Like, whatever. It's just not an example that resonates with me at all. But I guess this is like a male role, take out the trash. Yeah, anyways, like, a man says he's going to take out the trash. You're like, he's like, he will take out the trash, but he doesn't know that it's time to take out the trash. He doesn't take out the trash, and like drives a woman crazy. What's actually driving the woman crazy is this idea that he like gave his word and didn't fall through on his word. So any time that a man like gives his word and doesn't fall through, it's like something that like, it'll actually bother the man a little bit too. And like the woman, it'll really grate at her. I think it's an underlying biological thing in terms of safety. Like, can I count on this person? Super fascinating stuff. Not so much the trash. Like, who cares about trash? I know, I'm sorry. If you really care about your trash, I'm sorry. If you do, please follow the channel more, and let's get into these tips and feeling happier about the trash and a little more juiced up in our relationship, a little more connected, have a little more sex, have a little more connection and yumminess. So then like the trash is really second nature. Oh, some people are gonna hate me for saying that, but yeah, like the more we're connected, the less we care about the lower things, right? So anyways, in here, when a woman feels like a man has said something that he's gonna do it and like hasn't done it, she can sometimes get into the space of like bad intention, that he had bad intention, right? And have a conversation, and women will sometimes, like think, oh, like why did he said he was going to do this thing. Why didn't he do it? Why did he lie to me? The worst possible thing that you can ever do, like to a man, is be like accusing him of lying or thinking about like that there's bad intent there. It's probably like just kind of a misunderstanding. That's a space of coming from good intent, is a space of respect. A man being felt like he is being accused of something, or like called a liar, or that like a woman's questioning his integrity or anything like that, it's going to feel like a huge amount of disrespect. And men are really aware of social status in general. Things like it's kind of part of actually one of our brain structures, or mammalian brain structure, where like the awareness of social status, and men tend to be very aware of social status. It's kind of actually wired in our brain, and they're very aware of like where different ranking is and all of this stuff. And respect is an incredibly important thing within social status, like gaining and keeping respect. And it's almost a survival thing within like our kind of human mammal culture, right? So it's like actually disrespecting a man is like, or even though it does not feel like disrespect for you, it feels like you're calling him out, right? So there's a whole art to having these conversations. But if it comes off as like being disrespected, it's really going to trigger his even survival sort of response. And those are the types of feelings that are being generated in him. Okay? So they're not really relationship building things. So just like to put that little seed in your mind and think about like one way to respect men in your life is to think about like, okay, come to something from a space of curiosity and like assuming good intent, misunderstanding, misalignment, just curiosity about his experience. That doesn't mean you need to you put up with disrespectful behavior from a man. That doesn't mean that, okay? It just means like learning to change our lens and perception, and treating men in a way where they're going to feel safer with us and feel more respected, which allows them to feel more bonded, closer, as a woman, hearing things like, if you hear that, many women want to feel cherished, like they want to feel safe, connected, valued, seen, heard, understood, it's like that's something that can really resonate with a woman. Not across the line, but with many, many, many women. And men really like to feel, honored, respected, trusted, admired, appreciated, okay? It's important to cherish men, just like it's important to cherish women. But the word cherish means a lot more to a woman, and honor and respect mean a lot more to a man. So that's a simple tip to speak more, put more of a frame of a perception of learning how to speak and relate to your man from a place where he feels respected. Hope this served you. Hope you got a lot from it. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Over time here, we're building a community. Everything starts out small and grows bigger. People that are in this journey together, building love and happiness and understanding and more of the good stuff. So you can also learn about me at caringmargaret.com. I hope you have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love.